I'm going to be showing you different tips and tricks on how to work easily with your sketch. Maybe some advanced users don't know this, but beginners will definitely find a use for it. So first off, if we have these lines here, normally when we want to move or copy entities, we can of course use the move entities or copy entities that we have here. However, we can also decide to use the keyboard shortcut. So if we just select all of this and then hold down, for instance, Shift, then we're going to move the selected entities. However, also remember that it will keep up with the different relations you have. So, for instance, this is coincident with the origin. Then, if I move this now, this just gets stuck there. So, in order to make sure I can move it, I have to delete the origin, that relation, and hold down Shift and move it. If I want to copy it, I can select all of it again and hold down Control, and then copy it. And of course, I can select whatever sketch point I want to use. I'm just going to move this one over here for demonstration purposes. So, for instance, if we have our trim tool. So most of us know it's the trim tool. You can just go here and trim that. However, we can also use it as an extension. So for that, I'm just going to create a line there. And again, the trim tool. And now when I hold down Shift and use the trim tool, it will extend it to the nearest line. When it comes to shortcuts, one I also like to use is, of course, the Alt key. So if I just create a new line, and as you can see here in the left side, you have different letters underlined. So here I'm going to go with the horizontal, and I also want this to be a construction. So I hold down Alt and just select. There's going to be a construction line. It's going to be vertical. So so there we go. But yeah, you can basically do that with the Alt key. If we have these standard grid lines here, where it locks onto the horizontal, it locks onto vertical. If you for some reason don't want that, you can hold down the Shift key, there's a Control key, and then if you show down the Control key, it won't lock to the horizontal or any other lines you might have. So, if you for some reason want that, if you want this to be close to, maybe not completely horizontal, but then you can just hold down Control to make sure it doesn't lock to the horizontal line for some reason. And the same thing you see here, it will try to lock to the sketch. However, if I hold down Control key, it won't lock to the sketch. If you for some reason want that. For example, if you don't want it to go straight into the sketch, it depends on how many sketches you have here. It's not, but if you have many sketches and just want it to be not a part of these sketches, not locked into these sketches, then you can use it so it just becomes in. One thing you can also do is you can use the trim key, trim entities, which most of us know, like this. However, if you, while selecting the power trim tool, hold down your Shift key, you can actually extend to the nearest line. If I, for some reason, want to ensure that this goes into specific length or specific angle, I can always hold down the Shift key. So by holding down the Shift key, I lock it to a specific length. Here in this case, we have 20 millimeters, 40, 60, 80. And we also have the same thing with the angle. See if I can get this. I think it's 44 millimeters as standard. There we go. Now it's 45 millimeters and 45 and 45. One way to change this is we just go into the options and hang on. To the document options and see grid snap. So here we have the major grid spacing. In this case, it's 100 millimeters, and the minor lines per major is 5, which means when I hold down Shift, it will divide it by 5. So every time it says 20 millimeters. If I set this to 4, then instead of 20 millimeters, we will have 25. So let's just do that. Here, holding down Shift. 25, 50, etc. If you want to exit your sketch, there's always the D key. That brings up this menu that you usually have in your corner. So the funny thing is the D key, if you speak Danish, then it is, in Danish, D is doven, which actually means lazy. So it's a lazy key. So, and we press, and then we exit the sketch.